Welcome back to another episode of The Wealth Around Us. This will be our 2,000 subscribers appreciation video. This is the Wealth Around Us salad. Now, I kind of spared you the whole gathering process and whatnot. I did that in the last video before it rained, so we're going to just go ahead and get to it. We have here a mixture of prickly lettuce, purple dead nettle, wood sorrel, more dead nettle, dandelion. Got some crowns of dandelion here. All this is going to have to be washed. Of course, there's that great big head of wood sorrel we had, but we've got a lot of mixed in prickly lettuce and dandelion going on there. And then to top it, we're going to have cucumbers. These are the sour red apples from the side of the house. I never use these, but they're there's crab apples at the front of the neighborhood, and they taste, when they're ripe and allowed to sit in the sun, the ones on the west tree are just delicious. I mean, they're got this bright, beautiful, crisp apple flavor. And these aren't. They're like sour and red, but they're still pretty good. They're actually supposed to be big red apples, and just we haven't pruned that tree back in so long that it makes little apples like this. And then we've got one off of the one next to it, a green apple, so we'll mix some of that in. A real nice cucumber. Get that in the light for you. The cucumber turned out beautiful. That was the first one of the year, so we'll celebrate with that. And I went out in front and got a bunch of juniper berries, so we'll top it with that too. Here we've got had some getting on the end of stale Bosnian bread in the fridge, so we're going to go ahead and pop these in. These are seasoned with a little bit of canola and olive oil and some spice like herbs de Provence and cumin seed. And we're going to put that in there and on the brown setting. And that'll be good to go. Coming along nicely, coming along nicely. Got a lot more to wash and some cutting to do. Stand by. Okay, we're about halfway done here. We've got a lot of the wood sorrel processed and the ground ivy processed. And I got to tell you that ground ivy, it is a relative of the mint family. And I remember Brian following me around the other day when we were gathering some, and he was like, smell this, dude. And I was like, get away from me. No, I'm not going to smell your fingers. But it does. It doesn't have an attack like mint, but you can tell there's something very, there's a very herby quality about it, like a very culinary quality like mint. Or I would liken it almost to the way that, what do they call that stuff? Galangal is like ginger, but not quite. And there's a nice little leaf of prickly lettuce. But yeah, we'll get the rest of this processed here, and the croutons look like they're getting to be about done. We'll make sure they're a little bit. I like mine a little bit more on the brown toasted side, so we'll get there, and we'll be right back. And that's exactly why you do go ahead and process and wash all this stuff, because that's the second slug I found hiding under the dandelions. Okay, now that we've got that, we're gonna put the top on the salad spinner. See if I can do this one-handed for you. And the salad spinner is a funny one, but it always builds up too much G-forces, and you have to hold it down. I'll just go ahead and do that thing. We're going to go ahead and get started here on the cucumber, the apples, and the juniper berries. Well, here we are with the processed apples and cucumbers, and the smell in here, my goodness. Farm fresh really does make all the difference, because you can grow, as I understand it, these are grown in situations like laboratory farms and stuff like that, where it's all very clean and whatnot. But this guy survived on his own, and he made it. And let's see, apples. We've got these juniper berries, little cucumber slices. And over here we have our croutons. Let's have a look at those. Yeah, those are starting to look real good. All right, let's get to it. Got a beautiful, see if I can get that in the light there. I'm trying to get out of the way. Got a beautiful bunch of nice dried greens though, so we're going to go ahead and toss these up a bit. Like I said, this is henbit dead nettle, dandelion, wood sorrel, a couple pieces of prickly lettuce in there, but we're just going to get a nice handful of that up there. Oh, that's looking good already without anything on it. Dandelions in there for good measure. And all these ground ivy leaves. As I'm tossing it up, I'm just finding more and more great stuff. Yeah, there we go. I'd say that's a good amount of that, and then we'll top it with some red onion for effect to cut through all that tart, citrusy, acidic stuff we got going on there. And some cucumber slices. That looks real good. A little bit of the green apple. A little bit of the red apple. And finally, some juniper berries. And white cheddar. I think I want a little more of that. The trouble with working with soft cheeses like cheddar is they get like that on the cutting board. Okay, and we'll just top that off with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Nothing real spectacular. Just give it a drizzling. You can also use truffle oil if you want on this. I just wanted something to emulsify this. So naturally, you know, what's a better emulsifier than olive oil? And then finally we'll use some seasoned rice wine vinegar, some mancuran. And again, just a hit. That's all we really need. And it probably couldn't hurt to give her a dash of cracked black pepper here. And there we have it. Let's get it over under the spotlight for you. That is a foraged greens wild edible salad. Cucumber, red onion, little white cheddar. With a very simple dressing of just olive oil and a little seasoned rice wine vinegar. The seasoned is where you want to go. You can use cider, you can use white, but I prefer seasoned rice wine because it's one of my personal favorites. Kind of an Asian twist. But this is looking mighty good, so if you don't mind, I'm going to sit down and enjoy it. And that's just it. This came out of, you know, this cost me nothing. This is growing in my backyard. All of this. And that's one of the things on this show that I always want my viewers to take to heart is that once you actually have a nose for this kind of stuff, it's hard to escape the salad. It really is. It's hard to go anywhere and not run into something that you can eat in the form of a plant or an animal or hell, even a bug. Yes, there were bugs out there. There was, you know, slugs and stuff like that. I've heard that slugs are a good survival food. You just got to cook them real well. But this doesn't require any cooking. Anybody can do this. And it's stuff that comes from, you know, around your backyards and the weeds and under your bridges and along the sides of the road and stuff like that. So give it a whirl. And always remember, there's a wealth around you. Thanks for my 2,000 subs and stay safe, everybody. Have a great weekend.